Very quick video before the start of the second men's semi-final at Roland Garros. Right, so I'm just going to give you a quick update. Now, I talked briefly, I think yesterday, the day before, I don't know when. Because I don't remember, I just do the videos and I don't remember what I said. Well, not so much what I said, I don't tend to go back over them. But I spoke about inspired thinking. So today my day has been all about inspiration. So quick example, and I mean it may seem like something trivial, but I've just come from outside, it's raining and my trousers are wet, so I've just decided to do all my washing now because I've done the hospital visit. I went early at 2 just during the first game of the Rafa Nadal semi-final was on because my sister's a big Nadal fan also. So we decided we were going to watch that at the hospital. So I got there right on time during the first game, and it was very pleasant weather outside, and then within the space of 2 hours it was heavy rain, so I got kind of wet. So I just decided to come in and do my washing and just have a late night tonight sewing. So anyway, I put my clothes in the washing machine, and the natural thing to do next would be to switch the machine on, but I didn't because inspiration said you need to do the video and the machine's going to be going in the background while you're doing it, because obviously I want to catch the second men's semi-final, so I would have to do it before that starts rather than after the washing. So anyway, that's the intro. But it's just briefly. So yesterday I almost didn't make it to the hospital because I ate something that upset my stomach, and I felt really ill up until the point when I was due to leave. But I self-medicated with little bit of bicarbonate of soda to settle my stomach, and then raw onion to get rid of the bacteria. Now, I don't know where I get all these crazy ideas from. Well, I do kind of know, it's inspiration. So, but it's just second nature now. So when I don't feel well, I naturally just go to the fridge or into the cupboard and get whatever I need. So I managed to get to the hospital yesterday anyway. So long story short, I tend not to, when I'm not well, I tend not to mention anything until I'm on the road to recovery. So I mentioned it to my mother last night because she was on a rant and I was trying to conserve my energy. So I mentioned it and said, I wasn't feeling great, so I'm just gonna go and have an early night. And straight away, drink hot water, advice. So, but the thing is, with giving people advice, I will recommend something if the person doesn't know what they're doing or what they need to do, or if they've asked for advice. But in my situation, whenever with my mother in particular, if I say to her, well, I haven't been feeling well, straight away, have a hot drink hot water, this, that, the other. So I always very calmly and very casually say to her, I am fine, I've got it under control. So this morning when I spoke to her, she asked how I was, and it was like, I'm fine, because like I said, I know what I need to do to get well. So sort of going forward slightly now, I discovered I had a missed call and a text message yesterday. So basically I went to deliver 3 blinds yesterday, and I needn't have done it because when I was still here actually. So the call and the text message came in on my tablet, and I only noticed this morning. And so basically when I said, I think in the video yesterday I said that I had contemplated not going and I was going to make a phone call, and I didn't actually realize, because my tablet is on silent, I didn't realize that I didn't actually need to go. So again, a lot happened yesterday, like for example with the incident that I related. with the supposed racist woman at Clapham Junction, and just other things along the way. And had I not gone, I would not have had those experiences. So you could argue, or I would say, things happen for a reason. So I would say I missed the text message and the phone call because I was supposed to go out yesterday. Anyway, so the person who sent me the message and who I received the missed call from called me this morning, because I spoke to my friend who I did see yesterday. So he called me to say that he could bring a whole load of fabric because I've got lots of cushions to make. So he brought the fabric. I sent him the address, my sister's address, and he drove round and he brought everything for me. And then I had to bring everything up 4 flights of stairs. So I don't even know how many trips I made, but it was up and down, bringing up rolls of fabric. So now here's the science, or whatever you want to call it. Right, so the last couple of days, and today also actually, going to the hospital, I've had to run to catch the bus. When I say had to, I didn't have to, and I mentioned that in another video. I could have waited for the next one. But what happened was I popped into the bank briefly to put some cash in. And I came out, I saw a bus that would have taken me straight to the hospital. But when I stood at the bus stop, just waiting, not wearing a mask, and the driver pulled up. So as he's pulling up, he indicates, meaning, where's your mask? And I went, and he indicated, and I went, and he drove off. Now, I'm thinking, right, you don't own the bus company, your job is to drive the bus. It's not, for all you know, I might have some issue whereby I can't wear a mask, but that was his little bit of power, his little power trip, if you want to call it that. But as said, other buses are available. So all I did was I walked a little bit further down the road to where there are, I think, about 5 buses that go to the hospital. And I just walked a little bit further, and another bus was coming along that would have taken me straight there, and I just ran and caught it. So the point I was making yesterday, I posted on Facebook, was that at 5 o'clock, visiting time is at 6 at the hospital. At 5 o'clock, I was lying on the sofa with belly ache and eating raw onion, contemplating phoning the hospital to say I couldn't make it. And then within half an hour, I was on the road running down a bus. So that was the speed of the recovery, you see. So if in the space of half an hour I wasn't well enough to go to the hospital, and half an hour later, as a consequence of my homemade quack remedy, raw onion, bit of bicarbonate of soda, I was fit and healthy enough to go and run after a bus, then inspiration is out there. And there are a few things in the Bible. In particular, the one I always think of is the story of Naaman, where I know this very well because we used to sing it as a song as children in Jamaica. So I know it. I don't need to refer to the Bible. And he was told to go and dip in the river Jordan 7 times. Now, he could have turned around and said, why do I need to go into... He had leprosy, right? So he had leprosy, and as a cure, he was told by the prophet to go and bathe in the river Jordan, dip 7 times. Now, if he had lacked the humility, he would have said, well, why can't I just go to that river over there? It's closer. He could have come up with something to disobey or to not listen or to follow after his own path. So I think in terms of these types of scenarios where people are healed in unconventional ways. So you could argue, do I believe in miracles? Miracles I don't know. Another example, Noah with the ark. You could argue that he was saved by the ark, or God saved him because he told him to build an ark and this, that, the other. But had he not gone ahead and built the ark, he would have drowned the same as everybody else. So what saved him was the fact that he did what he was supposed to do, which was build the ark. What cured Naaman was the fact that he went and dipped in the river Jordan like he was supposed to. And what cured me was the fact that I went and ate some raw onion. It was a raw onion, really, because it killed whatever bacteria was floating around in my stomach. Right? So the bottom line is you get good results when you do what you're when you do what you know that you're supposed to do. So again, this is disjointed, but I will say again, pick sense out of nonsense, because there's a lot going on in my head at the minute. But like I said, there was a lot of inspiration flowing today, loads of it. Sort of, I'm going from point A to point B, and the inspiration just flowing. Do that, do that, do that. That's smarter. That's smarter. To the extent where I'm sitting here and you can't hear the washing machine in the background because I didn't put it on. I thought, let me do the video first, and I can watch the men's semi-final while the machine's going, while I'm sewing, right? So rather than have to wait until the tennis is finished, the washing machine's finished, and then maybe I've run out of energy and I don't feel like doing a video. So, I mean, the point of the matter is, because I was asked the other day with regards to my sister being ill, if I'm saying that it's her fault why she's ill, because, we do things differently. But I'm not going to say yes to that or no, but I do know that in the past, when I've recommended things to people, they've just turned their noses up, completely ignored me and not wanted to know. And who knows, maybe there are people out there who have got issues with health who may not have gone down the unhealthy route or the road to illness had they listened to well, not necessarily me, but maybe there's advice out there that had they taken it on board, it could have intercepted whatever illness was going to come up on them, or whatever misfortune, it's pretty much that is my line of thinking at the moment. It's just, if we do, like I said yesterday when I went out, I didn't actually need to go, but I just think when you live a life to include God, He puts you where you need to be. He keeps you away from situations where you shouldn't be, and from people also, and you just have better experiences. So even though I've already done my hospital visit and I've been up and down the stairs with all the fabric and everything else, gosh, what time is it now? I should think it's coming up to after 5, 5:30 or something like that, but I've got the rest of the evening to myself. My task for the weekend is to make 3 blinds, and I started the first one this morning, and I'm well into, I think I've got an hour's more work to do on that one. So realistically speaking, I can go a long way into the second one tonight. But although I'd reserved one day, today I was supposed to work on one, and then tomorrow another, and Sunday another, and then I would get all 3 done in time for Monday. But despite all my schedules, everything else that I need to do, I'm still on top of my work. So this is just I'm only sort of giving you my personal experience of how things work out. So I blocked someone who came on the video when I was talking about my sister. Like I said, I don't keep track, so I can't remember which one it was, but he indicated that he can tell that I'm stressed. I don't do stress. There is no stress in my life, right? Because even yesterday I set my mother up because when I got to the hospital, my sister told me something. So I'm not going to go into the details of it, but she told me something that they suggested to her. And because my mother's always expressing worry, like, oh, you're not speaking properly, and then coming back to me saying she's not getting well, there's no difference, this, that, the other. I took the opportunity to use that to distract her, to put her on a completely different path. So she's been ranting since I told her what it was that they suggested. She's been ranting. If there was an Olympic event for ranting, she would be a double gold medalist. So now she's got something else to think about, complete diversion tactics. So this morning when I was working on my blind, I was making the lining. So I had my phone here on speaker with mother ranting. She was going for a good 40-50 minutes. And I had my sewing machine here. And so it was mother to the left, sewing machine to the right. And then when I was satisfied that she'd ranted enough, I said, all right, that's enough. I'm going back to work now. See you later. And it's just literally sometimes people perhaps would have said to me, oh, you shouldn't have said that to her. But I think that it's actually doing my sister, 'cause my sister didn't actually want to speak to my mother because, the way the conversation is. But now, even when I mentioned it to her yesterday, my sister, she started ranting because she was on the phone and she was ranting and ranting. And I had the headphones, so I gave one to my sister and I was listening to the other. And my sister burst out laughing. And my mother, when people are really angry, sometimes that's when they're funniest. So I found it quite hilarious, the things she was saying. As did my sister, because she burst out laughing. And my mother, in all seriousness, said, who's that in the background crying? So I told her it was my sister laughing. So, so again, it rather than it worry my sister, it actually lifted her spirit, and it's a distraction for my mother. So sometimes, not that I'm putting myself in the place of God, but sometimes things happen to us that we don't like, but then if we look into the future, we in hindsight rather, you can say, that happened for a reason. I can see now that actually happened, because if that hadn't happened, it's a bit like, and I talk about this in the book, if you were stuck in a traffic jam going to the airport, and you're thinking you're going to miss your flight, you'd be frustrated, you'd be angry. But then if you heard that the plane had crashed, you'd be full of gratitude and you'd be giving thanks to God. So it's kind of like on that kind of line of thinking. But life for me is fantastic. It doesn't matter what's going on. It's just everything just falls into place as it needs to. And like I said, I'm on top of my work, which is great. I've got great energy, so I'll be able to do a lot of work tonight and make headway. So I might even get some time to myself at the weekend. So anyway, I hope all of you are having a fantastic day. I'm off to watch the men's semi-final. So you guys take care. See you later. Bye.